Away the lads.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone had a nice Christmas. Jay should be joining me shortly for the game day watch along. I'm going to go radio silent until he joins me, but I will be back momentarily with him alongside. So stay tuned. Hello, everyone. If you weren't with me before, hope you all had a good Christmas. So that's why he's there. And then obviously you've got Miggy, Jolinton, and Chris Wood starting up front. Jolinton's been less effective on the wing for me. I don't understand why Maxi hasn't come in and Longstaff or Willock have dropped to the bench for him to drop back into that midfield. But there you go. It's all trust in Eddie and everything. But the big surprise is how poor Leicester's lineup looks, if I'm entirely honest. Castagna at right back, Amati and Faze in the centre, Luke Thomas on the left, Sumare as holding midfielder, Pratt, Tielemans, Dewsbury Hall, and Barnes in midfield with Patson Daka up front. Now, the only two that worry me in this team are Barnes and Daka. Nobody else in that squad seems to actually. Yeah, I'm not phased by any of it, to be honest with you. It's a weird one, but I'm sure that we'll be able to get the result today. I'm and I'll try and keep the swearing to a minimum while I'm watching. But we'll see what happens. I've not heard from Jay, so I'm still not sure if and when he'll be joining. Hopefully soon. But I'm going to go for a quick break just to grab a drink and everything, get prepped for the game, and I will be right back. Hello, everyone. I'm back again. Sorry for that. So yeah, another stat I saw while I was having a shufty in the kitchen to grab a drink and everything is that the last 6 Boxing Day games that Newcastle have played, we have lost. And Eddie Howe has never won a Boxing Day game before. But as the missus eloquently put it, it's first time for everything, and let's hope today's that day and we can get the W. Puts us up to second. Tottenham getting a draw earlier eases the pressure on us ever so slightly in that top 4 at the moment. I'm just going to have a quick look, see how many points that puts between us and them. Let's have a quick shufty. So what have we got? So we're on equal points, but obviously we've got a game in hand, this game. So that could put us potentially 3 points ahead of Spurs, which would be phenomenal. Man United, obviously, after today's game, will have 2 games in hand, and they will be, if we win, 7 points behind us. So that will make it a nice cushion, keeping us in that top 3. Again, if we win, we go above Man City into second, but then City have 2 games in hand on us. And we would go 4 points behind Arsenal at the top. But I think it's a little bit too early to start looking at that top of the table and thinking that we could potentially fit in up there. But hopefully we get off to a good start in this game. Players are all out on the pitch now getting ready. But hopefully Jay joins us soon. I've not heard anything still from him. So I'm not 100% sure if he's going to be joining us today. Obviously, it was Christmas yesterday, so I'll forgive him if he's partaking in a few too many beers or something. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. If he is unable to join, I might end up cutting this short and just doing the standard podcast during the week with Jay to review the game rather than watching the entire match, because I've got the missus here and I feel a bit of an arse sitting here watching it, chatting to a computer screen rather than sitting over there chatting to the missus about it. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully Jay joins us soon. But yeah, so it's going to be an interesting one. It'll be interesting to see how Leicester play, to be honest. I mean, it's far from a good team that they've got at this point in time. I know they've done a few bits towards the end of the first part of the season before the World Cup started, and they were getting back into some kind of form. But Danny Ward in goal for me has never really excelled for them, and he doesn't look comfortable. And similar to when we played Tottenham, we put pressure on Hugo Lloris. He made 2 mistakes. We got 2 goals from it. It's something that we could look to benefit from. Castagna is obviously a pretty decent little player. Then you've got Fies and I'm sorry, it slipped my mind who the other lad is in central defence for Leicester. Let me just have a quick look again. Did just pop up on the screen. Amati. Now he's predominantly a central midfielder, so the fact that they've got a young lad that's a midfielder playing in the central defence who's not looked comfortable there when he has played there, to be honest, that's another position that we could potentially push on and look to get past. Now, Luke Thomas is a good little player playing on the left back for them, but Miggy, I would fancy his chances against him. Bruno, I would take all day over any of their 3 midfielders. So yeah, I mean, it's there for the taking. It's there for the taking. Obviously, we just need to break our Boxing Day losing streak. If we lose today, it's going to be seven years since we last didn't lose on a Boxing Day game. But I think we should do this. I mean, we've got a quality team out there. Although I don't know why they're saying Chris Wood's English. Still saying Chris Wood's English on their mental. Who's getting paid to do that? I don't understand. Anyway, we're approaching kickoff now, so I'm going to go a little bit quieter. You might just hear some cussing as the game goes on, but I assume Jay will not be joining us. But again, it's Christmas time. The lads probably had a beer too many, so I forgive him. I've got my whiskey there just in case I need the hair of the dog if this headache gets any worse. Hopefully it won't, but if we don't play very well, then I imagine I'm going to need that whiskey. I mean, Willock and Longstaff for me shouldn't really be in the lineup at this point after the poor cup performance that they both had. They were really off the pace, but benefit of the doubt to them. And let's see how things go. Hopefully we get a nice win. And kick off. Here we go. Come on, boys. Oh, first long field ball up. And it's straight out for a Leicester throw. But we got possession back. That's not bad. Now, come on, let's do something with it. Get a nice early goal. Get comfortable in the game. I think that's what we need. Just something to put a little foothold on the game early. Put a bit of confidence back into the lads that have just come back. Like I said as well, I mean, Willock and Longstaff didn't have the greatest of games in that cup match. So we get an early goal. That should help their confidence a little bit. Nice ball upfield there. Here we go. Tripp's working his magic. Oh, what a ball. Should have done better with that. Sean with his first touch is not great, is he? You've got to love the lad's work ethic, but his passing's a little bit wayward sometimes. He's got the turning circle of a garbage truck. Oh, here we go. And no, we don't. Oh, penalty! We got penalty! Yes! What did I say before the game, babe? Amati, the one that we need to be aiming for. There we go. Now, I imagine there's going to be a VAR check here, and I can't tell if there was enough contact on it to go down there or whether it was... Oh, that's awful. Oh, studs right across the top of his foot. Straight down for a penalty. Jolinton. 1 minute, 59 seconds in. There we go. Nice early goal, hopefully, and we can... Chris Wood will probably take it, I imagine. The one thing I'll say about Chris Woods, he takes a blinding penalty. So let's hope that continues. Go on, boys. Come on. Come on. Can he make it 4-4? Go on, son. Go on. Yes! Chris Wood. 2 minutes in. Chris Wood penalty. Wilson who? Who was it that was meant to be playing? I can't remember. Cracking start to the game then. Now we just got that foothold in it. If we can get the second goal, I'm going to be greedy here. We get 2 goals. Gives us a nice cushion. I think the trouble is, obviously, with the way that life's been the past few years, you can never settle down when we score. You're always on the edge of your seat going, shit, we're going to sit back now, aren't we? We're going to sit back and we're going to let them attack at us. But hopefully, this is just a sign of how the game's going to go now. If I remember rightly, last year, wasn't it 4-0, 4-1 that we beat Leicester by there? Hopefully, we can go on and get a second, maybe a third. Puts us second in the league for a day or two, lads. Well, there you go. At the moment, we're currently sitting second in the Premiership. The lofty heights, boys. Second from bottom this time last year to second top. How about that? Yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I was spot on again. We sort of sat off a little bit. They almost had a great opportunity to put one in the back of the net. Now here we go, and go on. Oh. Bruno with it was pretty tame, to be honest. It was a little bit tame, but it could have could have led to something there. Ironically, the lad that gave away the penalty, Amate, he's the one that put the block in. We've got a corner now. 4 minutes and 45 seconds in. And I have to say, already we look like we're just picking up where we left off. That cup game looks something of an anomaly now with some of the performances that we had. But then again, we are only 5 minutes in, so I can't really give that assessment just yet. But here we go. Go on. Oh, terrible ball. Unlucky, but looking bright so far. Looking very bright. Yeah, Jolinton. They're just showing the replay for the way he won the penalty. Absolutely beautiful. How Amate, did he get a yellow card? He didn't even get a yellow card. And his studs went over the top of Jolinton's foot straight into the bottom part of his leg. It was awful. Really bad challenge, to be honest, but there you go. It's Jared Gillett doesn't seem to like us anyway. I'm amazed we even got the penalty. Leicester having a little bit of possession here. Well played by Dan Burn. And Botman knocking it back to Pope. Tell you what, our range of passing is so good. It's such a joy to watch us play these days. You know, even when we played Man City in the 3-3, we never took our foot off the gas. It was just such a different team from when Bruce was in charge. Here we go. Go on, Miggy! Go on, Miggy! Yes! 2-0. Get in. And it is a Miggy Christmas. Look at that. The smiling Paraguayan. Oh, what build-up play that was. I was scared he wasn't going to maintain his scoring. No, I know. What brilliant play from the team, though. So the long ball knocked down the wing. Some link-up play between him and... I'll tell you in a second when it shows me the replay, but there was some beautiful link-up play. I think it was between him and Trippier. Knocks the ball back to... Who's he knock it back to? Bruno. Him and Bruno. Nice assist for Bruno there as well. Honestly, terrific play. And he just takes it through the middle of two defenders. Dribbles it into the box. Just bottom left corner. Doesn't smash it. Just a nice little tap. Absolutely beautiful. There you go. 7 minutes in. 2-0 up. Second in the league. 3 points clear of the next... of fourth. Obviously, City have a couple of games in hand, but let's just enjoy it while we're still second, lads. I mean, this is incredible. We are fucking massive, lads. This will lead us nicely into January with a very good transfer window, I'm hoping. Maddison sitting in the stands watching this must be licking his lips at the possibility of playing for Eddie's Mags. Go on, boys. We look so comfortable. I don't understand how Leicester managed to pick up a few wins towards the end of the first half of the season. They've offered nothing so far. They've had one little attack forward, but it was defended very easily. I don't understand. How can a team that last season were easily top half, they're just not the same team. I mean, Daka, I can't remember Daka touching the ball. Even Harvey Barnes, to be honest, I can't even remember him touching the ball. There we go, lads. It's another throw-in in Leicester's half. Jolinton clutching his ankle a little bit. Maybe he's still feeling the effects from that penalty win, that Amate tackle. Jesus, ref. Just clobbered through the back of him. Oh, it's a good thing Leicester are crap, because that was a prime opportunity for someone to put the ball in the net. Jesus Christ! I'm so glad we've got a half decent defence. Christ! For a second, it's like we didn't want to keep the ball. And the way Daka just skied that, I have a little bit more faith that it's going to be hard for them to score against us. What has Harvey Barnes grown on his face? What has he grown on his face? It's almost as bad as Sean Longstaff's mustache. Yeah. Don't know if anyone's seen Sean Longstaff's mustache, but it is terrible. If anyone's seen South Park, it looks like Randy Marsh's mustache. Just ginger. I don't know how I'm going to fill the air for another 35 minutes here, everyone. It's engrossing watching this. The way we play, the way we build our attacks. It's with a Steve Bruce game, I'd have had plenty of time to sit here, look at the screen, talk to you all, look at comments. But with this game so far and the way we've played this season, it's difficult to tear your eyes away from it because of how well we just keep the ball, play it between attack, defense, midfield, everyone. They graft. That's been the saying up on Tyneside, and for all of us fans, for as long as I've been a fan, and I started supporting them when I was about 3, 4, something like that, back in the 90s. You know, and it's we don't want a team that competes for trophies, although that would be nice. We just want a team that works hard and tries, and this team, they give their all for us. It's wonderful to see. And it looks like the Boxing Day jinx is going to be broken today as well. How not winning a Boxing Day game ever, Newcastle losing the last 6 Boxing Day games, it doesn't look like it's going to deviate that way today. Well, sorry, it looks like it's going to deviate from that today, is what I meant to say. Obviously, we saw Brentford earlier today against Tottenham. They went 2-0 up and ended up drawing 2-2, but I can't see Leicester coming back from this. Even if they bring Jamie Vardy or Iheanacho on, it's just they're physically, they're not the same as us. Our team has got such physicality, such presence on this pitch that most teams struggle against us. Here we go. Nah, well cleared. Go on. Oh, it's unlucky. Why is the ref blown? It's not a head injury. Oh, for Christ's sake. Do these refs not know the rules? You don't blow unless it's a head injury. Jesus wept. Nothing happened. He landed on his hip. So what? It's not a head injury. It's a clean tackle from Jolinton or a clean challenge for the ball in the box. He's gone up to head the ball. The Leicester lads come across him, clattered into Jolinton, hurt his ribs. I think it's Castagna, and he's fallen like it's Dennis Pratt, sorry. Fell like a sack of shit to the floor. And the ref's blown. Stop the game. It's not a head injury. There's no need for it. I mean, if you're Leicester, you're wanting him to stay down as long as possible. We're dominating at the minute. So it is what it is, really, isn't it? But there you go. I don't understand why it's been stopped, but it has. But I don't know if anyone's watching the Amazon game at all, but replays are on now, and Almiron's goal was just sublime. Definitely need to tune into Match of the Day tonight to see it. It was so nice. Oh, what a player he's turned into. Honestly, we always knew that we were signing a hell of a player. Trouble is, we never had the managers to fit him into the right style of play. When he was at Atalanta, with Josef Martinez up front. The link-up play between those two was part of why he was such a good baller out there in the MLS. And he was scoring double digits almost every season. He came to us and we never saw the best of Miggy because the system never suited him. Now, all that play in that team focused down the wings. And Miggy has just become undroppable. I mean, Moussa Diaby, I saw that they valued him at 100 million. We don't need to spend that. We've got Almiron. Yeah, so that scoring streak continues. Sorry, I will shut up in a minute when the game resumes play, but Pratt's still milking this for all it's worth. Jesus Christ. He's winded. He's winded. Oh, mate, I don't understand it. Don't get it. This is irritating. Here comes the mighty Iosi Perez. Jesus Christ. Wow. That's Leicester's answer. Now, I used to like Iosi, but I don't know. I mean, there is a bit of taste in the mouth from how he left. I can understand why he left, but it doesn't mean that it's sat well with me. And the fact that he's gone there and ended up getting as much game time as Matt Ritchie gets for us, it's disappointing. But it's a Leicester corner, deflection off of Miggy. I'm not sure if they'll make the change before the corner happens. Pratt's off the pitch at the minute, so Leicester are down to 10 men. So if we can clear this corner, it'd be a perfect time to hit him on the break. We'll see what happens. Trips directing traffic in the centre of the box. Yeah, and here he comes. Here's Iosi. Yeah, I can hear the boos. There's plenty of boos on that TV. Yeah, no mercy. No mercy. I mean, didn't he assist the goal at St James's last season, didn't he, for Leicester? And he assisted last time at St James's in the league for Leicester, where we went on to win 2-1. As the missus has pointed out, he scored in the last game in the Carabao Cup that they had. But yes, Iosi Perez. I mean, I can't see him getting past Botman, Byrne, or Cher. You know, nicely played by Miggy, and we're on the break. Terrible ball. Terrible ball. Oh, charging down. Danny Ward almost got the ball back. Tell you what, this Samare looks awful. Just falls to the floor like a sack of spuds. Seems to be the Leicester playing style at the minute. If they come near you, fall to the floor. Just drop down. Jesus. There you go. Easily cleared there from a forward ball downfield from Castagna. Longstaff with a slide tackle, gives it to Willock. Gets tackled. We get the ball back immediately. Leicester are not imposing themselves in this game at all. I mean, we're easily dominating this match. How that's not a foul, I don't know, but there you go. And it's almost 20 minutes in now. Still 2-0. Leicester starting to get a bit more possession. Perez getting booed. I loved the kid when he was at us, but yeah, sour taste. And for me, the boos are just part and parcel of the game. Especially the way he spoke about us after he left. Now, I know we didn't have ambition and we didn't have all of that, but where was that talk when he was at the club is what I would argue. If he was at Newcastle, why wasn't he asking these questions when he was there? But that's neither here nor there. Right, so free kick, sort of just outside the box, halfway in, down by the touchline. Tielemans will whip it in from the right side, plays a little ball in towards the edge of the keeper's 6-yard box, and nobody there. Hoofed out of play by Dan Burn. Here they come again. Perez can't get past Dan Burn. Dan Burn with a bit of footwork there, nice little bit of skill. Perez nipping at his heels. He couldn't get anything. With one back by Leicester. What great play there by Miggy to stop them playing a through ball in. And it's back into Leicester's half. They were just outside the D on the halfway line. We're pegging them back. They're not doing anything at all. And they've just hoofed it out for a Newcastle throw-in. I mean, it's all Newcastle. Leicester have their little spate of possession for the past 2 minutes, but nothing threatening, nothing at all. I'm struggling to see who could beat us this season. In all honesty, I know Liverpool have, but through dubious circumstances. This is an unreal team Eddie's already built in the space of a year. It's incredible. I'm really excited to see what we can do in January to strengthen further. I mean, surely this has got to convince James Maddison that his future lies on Tyneside. The question is, do we push on and get him in January, or do we get him in the summer? Yeah, Perez on the ball now. Back to Castagna. Yeah, they're on the attack now. Good through ball for Patson Daka, but Nick Pope, well played, cleared off the line. Beautiful. Daka trying to claim that he deserves a penalty for that, but no, it's not. Pope touched the ball. So it's no penalty. It's no penalty for me. If they give a penalty for this, then Jesus Christ, we've been very sorely treated the past year and a half, you know. It's not. Pope gets a touch to the ball. Daka trips over him, or even does he leave a leg hanging? Yeah, he left the leg hanging. He was intentionally looking for that, and he didn't get it because Pope touched the ball. So no, not for me. It'd be very harsh if it was. Goal kick. I think that's another player that we need to heap praise on is Nick Pope since he's come in. I mean, when we signed him, I did sort of wonder, is he going to play second fiddle to Dubravka? But he's levels above what Dubravka was for us. And I used to love Martin Dubravka, but the boy has shown his lack of class, to be honest, with the way that he pushed through a move to Man United. But Nick Pope, Jesus, what a player he is. Leicester dallying on the ball now. That high press in effect again from Newcastle. Looking really good with that high press. Won the ball back beautifully. Ball downfield. Can Miggy get on the end of it? Nope, he can't. Still, we're looking comfortable. Even when they do attack, we're looking comfortable. Daka got through that one time, but Nick Pope was always favourite to win it. And that's offside, surely. Yeah, straight through to Nick Pope. Leicester player intentionally stood off of it because he knew he was offside, so there's no point in chasing that down. A little bit of 1-2 play between Cher and Botman. Onto the left-hand side with Jolinton. Being held up by 2 Leicester players, but he somehow manages to wriggle through and gets the pass off to Burn. That's been switched out to the right-hand side and Trippier. Good ball into Chris Wood. Oh, just doesn't find the right pass, does he? Longstaff, again, his decision-making is poor off the ball. His positioning, he's not... Defensively, you can argue that he works hard, he gets a tackle in, he can make an interception, but going forward, he offers almost nothing for me. He's like a reverse Jacob Murphy as Longstaff. But here we go. Leicester are broken through. Again, Daka drops to the floor for no bloody reason, expecting to be given fouls. What is this kid? Honestly, last season, this Daka looked a really good little player. Last season. And now he just keeps falling to the floor, throwing his arms out, asking the ref why he's not been given a bloody foul. The kid is honestly pathetic. It's pathetic. It was a clean tackle, shoulder barged off the ball by Botman, who was just stronger. He was just stronger, that was all. And Daka just moaning, basically. Oh, does my head in. But at least for once, Jared Gillett hasn't listened to it, and he's actually getting on with it for once. He's not been particularly good at reffing Newcastle games this season, but so far I think he's made some pretty decent calls. You know, Newcastle played well. Leicester have been poor. Again, I'll be surprised if Brendan Rodgers keeps his job to the end of the season, if this is how they're going to play. Obviously, I know they're missing James Maddison, who's a huge part of what they do. But from January, they might be missing James Maddison. So I'd be panicking if I was a Leicester fan right now, purely off of that basis. Without him, what do they do? What have they got in that team that can do anything? Is Daniel. Nicely played, wins a throw-in out on the left-hand side, sort of centre of our half. Yeah, can do. I'll just give you a quick score update. So Everton and Wolves are drawing 1-1. Southampton 0, Brighton 1. South Coast rivalry in effect. Crystal Palace who? Palace Fulham 0-0. So we're watching the right game today, because this is the most interesting game of the day so far, besides the Tottenham Brentford game. But even that one was just full of really poor play. Here we go again. Daka on the right hand side tries to slip a through ball in, but Shares already there, knows what's happening. Yeah, and Leicester an awful throw in. Daka tries to head it back to the throw in taker Tielemans, and it goes immediately out of play. Awful. Tielemans, I think his head's already out of Leicester. I don't think he's just not there anymore for them. Again, wouldn't be surprised if he's off to Arsenal in January. And I have to admit, from his performances this season and at the World Cup, I wouldn't want Yuri Tielemans at Newcastle. I know he's got some degree of passing and technique, but his attitude sometimes I just don't think suits Eddie Howe and how he wants his team to be. I'd much rather we went for Maddison. Different style of player, I know, but he can play in several positions and got the right attitude. Oh, Willett gives the ball away. It's in the centre of our half. Pass back into Leicester's half. Yeah, this is... We're quite happy sitting back at the minute. Leicester are trying to control the possession in midfield, but they're doing nothing with it. And two Leicester players just ran into each other and give us the ball back. So no need to... Oh, and we're through. Jolinton taking it round to Danny. Oh, Danny Ward tackles him just outside the box, but puts the ball out for a throw in. So close. If Jolinton could have just nipped it around the keeper. He had a clear opportunity on goal. And now play stop for Daka and Harvey Barnes. Both of them sort of ran into each other, hit the floor. And as Daka tried to go down dramatically, you can see he stretched his leg out. So he's obviously pulled something. Yeah, Jolinton was onside as the ball was played through to him. He just needed a little bit of a better first touch to get it past Danny Ward to then have an opportunity on goal. I have to say, Danny Ward he doesn't look a Premier League standard goalkeeper. I wouldn't be surprised if Dubravka was recalled in January and sold on to Leicester. And maybe as a make weight for a Maddison deal. Maybe we say, look, knock 10 million off his asking price. We'll throw in Martin. Hell, they'd probably even take Carl Darlow at this stage. Danny Ward is awful. Yeah. Back to halfway line. Nice long ball down to Almiron. Ooh. Well defended. Here we go. And no, we don't. Corner. Oh, no. Well done from Kieran Trippier there. Little back heel flick. Comes off a defender. Out for a corner. Honestly, it's peak Eddie Howe ball this at the minute. We're looking terrific. If anything, it's down Sean Longstaff's side in the centre of that midfield where we look slightly weaker. But at the same time, 3-0. There it is. And it's Sean Longstaff. Oh, no, wait. Sorry, it's Jolinton. The hair, you see, they're both ginger, aren't they? Jolinton. Oh. Hey, Jolinton knows we're having a baby, love. Ball under his shirt, thumb in his mouth. And there it is. Jolinton makes it 3. What a time to be a Newcastle fan. Happy Christmas, my fellow Magpies fans. So far, so good. That's Wout Fye. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, the David Luiz hair on Wout Fye. There we go. 3-0. Wicked corner in from Trips. Jolinton, centre of the box, straight down the middle. Just knocks it under Danny Ward's hands. Absolutely beautiful. Perfect header. And it's Sumare who was man marking him. And Sumare just ducks himself down as Jolinton goes up and pays the price. Best part of that was Patson Daka was on the Leicester goal line and got to watch the ball go in. So every silver cloud, you know. It's beautiful. Absolutely dominant in this game. And, you know, it just makes it that little bit better knowing that Perez is playing for Leicester while we're spanking them. Oh, there's going to be a scuffle here. Willett getting pushed to the floor by Yuri Tielemans. But somehow Tielemans wins the free kick. Yeah, you'll have to explain that one to me again. But for those of you who just joined, it's 3-0. Chris Wood penalty within the first 2 minutes. And then Miggy made it 2 after 8 minutes. And Jolinton making it 3 just after 30 minutes in. Absolute dominance and match of the day. And here we go. What a beautiful through ball from Jolinton. Willock on the wing, outside of the box. Knocks it back to Big Dan Burn. Back to Willock. Terrible. And it ends up back with Dan Burn, who makes a little pass to Sven. Not to share. Back to Sven. The passing from Sven Botman. And the ref interfering with fucking play there. Oh, does my head. Just Jared Gillett, no matter what he does, no matter how good some of the decisions he makes in games are, he always has to interfere with the game somehow, doesn't he? We had a good chance to counter-attack there, and it took the ball off of one of our players' feet, essentially. So, but here we go again. Winning possession in the middle of the pitch. And Lovely ball out wide from Bruno, straight to Miggy. Cuts inside, takes on 2 players. And we keep possession after they cleared it. Back in our half, just inside with Cher. And score update for you. Fulham are now 1-0 up against Palace. D Cordova-Reid getting a goal. But obviously the only score that matters is the one that we've got. And second place in the league now, everyone. I've got to keep reminding myself that. I've got to keep pinching myself, reminding myself that we're not in the relegation zone at this stage of the season. And everyone was saying before this break, oh, the break's come at the wrong time for Newcastle. They're going to come back. They're not going to play as well. But look at us. We've come back. We're proving everyone wrong once again. The challenge for Champions League looks like it's still underway. There's a poor tackle in the central position from Fies and Sean Longstaff there. And there you go. The commentators have just brought up a wonderful stat there. It's the 6th time this season that Newcastle have scored 3 goals. 3 or more, sorry. What a wonderful stat that is. And Jolinton's clean through again. Edge of the box, near the corner flag. Great ball into Bruno. Shoots and saved. Sorry, yeah, just tag me if you need to. That's right. Sorry. Half time, I'll take a little bit of a break. Yeah, if you've also just joined, sorry, Jay hasn't been able to join me. I'm not too sure why. I'll have a chat with him later, but I'm sure we'll do a breakdown show as well, just so we can get his thoughts and opinions on the game at some stage. But tell you what, look, got my old Christmas hangover headache starting to kick in, so hair of the dog for me now, I think. Celebration shot of Jack Daniels. Great defending from Joe Willett just there. Gives it away though, just at the... Oh, well won back. And foul ref, come on. Wow. Okay, well, there was a poor decision from Jared Gillett there. There was a planted foot from, I think it was Trippier. Leicester player just swiped it from underneath him, and no foul apparently. Leicester were allowed to attack and have won themselves a corner from it. No, ref's shaking his head. He hasn't got a clue, has he? He hasn't got a clue. He's been decent for the first half an hour of this game, and now Gillett's just reverting to type. Well defended. I think that was Dan Burn. And then Miggy coming up against Perez. Wins a throw-in on the halfway line. It's so nice seeing Almiron hitting such a rich vein of form. He's been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And there isn't any player that you could enjoy it more. The TV's now showing James Maddison sat on the bench in his little woolly hat. I feel like this has got to be the best advertisement for come to Newcastle. Not sure where this puts Leicester in the table. I'll have a look at half time, see what's going on around the place. And Fulham have had a red card. Man sent off. I'll let you know in a minute who that is. Oh, Crystal Palace, sorry. They've had their left-back Mitchell sent off. What a fall from grace he's had. He started so well at the beginning of the season, had his England call-up last year, I want to say. He's fallen off the pace a little bit. He looked like he could have been a good little player. And here we go again. Almiron down the wings. pass isn't great, gives it away. And Brighton 2-0 up against Southampton now. Nathan Jones is start as Southampton manager, is looking pretty poor at home to Brighton, and they're losing 2-0. That's not the way to announce yourself to Southampton fans. They must be fuming. Here we go. Right, so Feis with the ball just inside their half. Tielemans essentially playing as a third centre-back now, with the two full-backs pushing on even higher up the pitch. But they can't string two passes together, Leicester. They just pass the ball out of play there. Not one of them can find that killer ball forward, which is insane given that the quality of player that Yuri Tielemans is. Trouble is, he's just not consistent enough. And Dewsbury Hall's, I don't know. I know Leicester fans like him, but I've not seen enough from him to comment on whether he's a good player or not, but he hasn't looked it so far. The ball comes back to Pope. Nice little ball forward, but intercepted by Leicester. And we keep the ball with Trippier. Cuts inside, gives it to Botman. Gives it to Dan Burn. And here we go on the break. Oh, handball. Come on, ref. Are you kidding me? Leicester come away with the ball after a handball, but the ref denied that it even touched the lad's hand. It's irritating, this is. And Pope stopped Daka once more. Go for it.
Newcastle's most recent Boxing Day top flight away win by 3 or more goals was a 6-1 win at Sunderland in 1955.
Bloody hell. So the last time that we led a Boxing Day game... The last time we led a Boxing Game day away by 3 goals or more was when we beat Sunderland 6-1 in 1995? 1955. There you go. So 1955 was the last time we scored 3 or more goals away from home on Boxing Day. That is a good stat for you. And we've just, while I've been saying that, we've missed a golden opportunity here. Chris Wood, isn't it? Is it Chris Wood? Yeah, it's Chris Wood. You know, he can't score from anywhere other than a penalty spot. The goal opened up to him and he just puts it over the crossbar. It's come back to Nick Pope after we've dispossessed Leicester. Leicester, their control of the ball has been awful, and they've given it away again. Sean, once again, taking too long on the ball, but manages to find a pass. Here we go. Ball comes into Sean. Leicester come away with it in their own box. Some poor decision making from Sean Longstaff there. Headed it back to Wood, but Wood couldn't get to it. And yeah, there was better options that Sean could have picked. And here, what? Leicester player jumps up in the air with his arms like this, and apparently that's a foul, you know. Whatever. I don't know, lads. This is it's comfortable. It's very, very comfortable. And you can tell we're comfortable because we've the high press is sort of slackened a little bit, and we've dropped ever so slightly deeper. Not masses, but enough to give Leicester some control in the centre of the park. But it's still comfortable for us. And when we break on the counter, we're looking like we could get another 2 or 3, to be honest with you. Personally, second half, I'd bring Maxi on as striker or bring Maxi on, stick Jolinton as striker, because at this point, anyone that's up front could score, except for Chris Wood, unfortunately. And he's missed a sitter in that cup game. He's missed a sitter in this game. I just think we'd probably be better off with Joey in the middle and St. Maximin down that that left-hand side would cause absolute chaos. Castagna wouldn't know how to deal with him. He can't deal with Jolinton at this moment in time. So, yeah, there you go. No, as the commentators have said, Eddie Howe's side not put a foot wrong so far, and we've performed very well. It's another performance, first half performance that we can be proud of. Everyone from Nick all the way to Chris Wood have played well. Obviously, I have a bit of criticism for Chris Wood and Sean Longstaff, but I can't fault their effort today. They've all been fantastic, as per usual. To be honest, I mean, it's getting hard to criticise players at this time because of how well the team's doing. 3 minutes added time. So what we'll do is we'll have another 3 minutes of me talking crap down the mic to you. And I'm going to have a quick 5-10 minute break. We'll come back 5 minutes before the second half starts. And I'll let you know how the league table's looking and the scores and everything that's going on around the place at the minute. And yeah, hopefully we'll continue this in the second half because it's been dominant. Just so easy on the ball. Not a care in the world. Just a little passing triangle between Bruno and Botman and Byrne in that left-hand side of our box. And back to Pope. The Ole's ringing out now as we're stringing our passes together. Leicester have tried to play a through ball. It's come all the way through to Nick Pope, who's going to let Daka chase it down to the goal line and picks it up. There it is. Minute and a half of extra time gone. We might even be able to nick another goal just before the whistle goes, but no, long balls dispossessed. Chris Wood couldn't get his head to it. And now we're just sitting off. Yeah, I think we're quite happy to let it go to half time at this score now. The only thing that worries me is potentially at half time we might see the introduction of Jamie Vardy. Now I know he's old, but the guy's still got pace for days and he could cause a little bit of a problem at the back for us. But we'll see. Here we go. Ball's gone through and no, it's gone out for a Leicester goal kick. 30 seconds left of the half. I think that's going to be all she wrote for the moment. That's how it's going to end. Mickey looking knackered, bless him. He's working his socks off. So, yes, it's going well so far, lads. It's difficult to pick out a man of the match so far. Everyone's played so well. Jolinton, so far for me, though, has been central to a lot of our attacks. But then again, so have Trippier and Miggy. It's really difficult to tell. So, Boo's ringing around the King Power. But don't worry, lads. Your chairman's giving you a free pint today, so that should help the sting of the 3 goals you've conceded. And to everyone, I will see you in 10 minutes. I'll be right back. Oi, back again. Yeah, sorry about that. I completely forgot I had a live chat going on as well during the game. I'll blame it on the alcohol from yesterday and the air of the dog for today. It's the only way I could avoid the headache. um, Jay's mentioned in the chat as well. You guys have probably seen it. His internet's down at the minute, so I'll forgive him this once. What I'll do is I'm sure me and him will arrange a review of the game at some point, and we can have a natter about that. Also, thank you to Soup Spoon for liking and subscribing, mate. I really appreciate it. RT11, cheers for your comments, buddy, and for watching. That's also appreciated. Yeah, this once, yeah. All right, mate. No worries. So yeah, I'm sure we'll do a review for the game when we get it. But elsewhere, obviously, Brighton 2-0 up at Southampton. Everton Wolves are drawing 1-1. Palace are losing 1-0 to Fulham, and they're a man down. And the game earlier today, Brentford Tottenham finished 2-2. Obviously, later on, you've got Villa, Liverpool, 5:30, and Arsenal and West Ham at 8, which I'm kind of hoping West Ham win.
Well, yeah.
So we're second now, lads. We can close the gap to first if they lose. So fingers crossed, eh? But yeah, second in the league. Third best goal difference in the league. Currently sat on 21. I think that's third best. Let's have a quick look. Yep, third best goal difference in the league. Point ahead of City, but they do have 2 games in hand. 3 points ahead of Spurs in 4th, and we are now 7 points ahead of Man United in 5th. So we've got a nice little cushion. Even if Man United win their 2 games in hand, they're not going above us. So yeah, it's looking rosy for us at the minute, boys, and I just can't understand how the turnaround from last season to where we are now. It's surreal. It's just surreal. They're showing the replay of that Daka dive earlier where Pope comes out, gets the ball, and then Daka falls to the floor. Yeah, no. He doesn't even touch Pope, to be honest. As he's come in, his foot lifts up there and he just falls to the floor. They love a good dive, don't they? Sven Botman, though, Jesus Christ, what a defender. Him and Woodgate are battling it out for second. Yeah, no, I agree, mate. If we can let West Ham win today, hopefully, then I think without Jesus, we've got an opportunity to go and beat them. I don't see Nketiah being the goal scoring threat that they need, because it's Nketiah. He's not exactly great, is he? But yeah, I mean, it's going to be crazy. Honestly, it's just crazy. Arsenal lose today. We are 4 points behind them. We beat them next week, like Jay says. We're a point behind them. That well, Shay Given seems to think that we're going to end up winning the league as well. So we've got Shay on side on that front. I think Shearer mentioned it jokingly the other day as well, didn't he? That we might end up winning the league. But I think that's a step too far. I do think Simon Jordan's going to have to pay Jim White for the bet they had. Obviously, Simon Jordan, famously a muppet, completely against Newcastle after the time, sorry. And maybe, Jay, maybe, mate, yeah. We will be 10th. If we end up 10th, mate, why does it matter? What does it matter to you? Imagine coming onto a small streamer's page just to try and bring the mood down. We're winning 3-0, mate. We've lost 1 game all season to Liverpool in the 98th minute. I'm assuming that's a Mackham then. Yeah, I'd assume it's a Mackham J. I don't think he's drunk, mate. I think, although to be fair, he could still be sipping the old mulled wine from yesterday. Jesus Christ. But yeah, it's exciting times, boys, isn't it? Oh, they're just showing the replays of the games. I don't know if you boys are watching, but that Mitchell's red card is terrible. Jesus. No, nothing. Sipping a vinegar bottle. Got a bit of the antifreeze out, did he? So here's another stat for you, fresh from Fabrizio Romano. Miggy Almiron, in his first 110 appearances for Newcastle, he got 9 goals. In his last 16, he's got 9 goals. So there you go. That's how good he is. Apparently, we're going to discuss a new deal for him as well in the next few weeks because his deal expires in 2024. So I think he deserves it after what he's had. Looks like Jamie Vardy's coming on for second half for them, which I kind of thought was going to happen. Daka's been awful. Yeah, Daka's coming off. He's been poor, very poor. So I think they kind of had to make that change. The only concern I have is off the pace. Vardy, yeah. the only concerns I've got is his pace against Botman and Cher, who aren't the quickest lads in the world, could be a hindrance, but pace doesn't matter when you're built like a brick fucking shit house, really, does it? So there you go. Okay, second half's kicked off, lads. Let's see what happens. Oh dear, right. I'm gonna have one more shot to keep the headache at bay for the second half. Cheers, lads. Right. And Leicester look like they've come out of a bit of purpose this second half for once. But the second Vardy touches the ball, he gives it away. Or was that Harvey Barnes? I think it might have been Harvey Barnes, actually. They were a bit of good build-up play there from Leicester. Sorry, yeah, a bit of good build-up play. Yeah, I know, but it's not as fun. Yeah, he'll be extending that run of no losses for Botman in that Newcastle team. He's becoming a bit of a good luck charm for our squad, isn't he, really? Second he doesn't play, we lose, but he's been fantastic since he's come in. He's so young as well. So young. It's incredible. But oh yeah, no, it's just looking it's looking good for us, boys. Throwing on the halfway line. Big Joe. We've kept possession in the centre of the park, given away. It's been a sloppy start to the second half from both sides, really. The ball doesn't stay in possession of one team too long, and then Big Joe goes down, wins a free kick on the halfway line. So how many more do people think we can score? Is there anyone that thinks this is going to be any more goals in this, or is it going to finish 3-0? I don't know. I reckon it could be a 5-0, provided we yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Jay's with me. 5-0. I reckon so, mate. Yeah. Get Chris Wood off. Stick Jolinton up front. Bring Allen on. Stick him on the wing. St. Maximin, I reckon, could get a goal in this. I reckon this is the perfect game for Elliot Anderson to play in as well, really. Oh, I'm skied by Sven Botman. Shame. I'd love to see Sven get his first goal. Sorry, I'm just going to keep a running scoreboard on the screen. Let me just type it out. There we go. Yeah. I'd love to see a free kick from Trips. Oh, reverse ball in from Willock. That was too heavy, way too heavy from Joe there. Although they're playing it around defence, and it's looking quite dangerous when they do that. Yeah. And it's a free kick to Newcastle. Harvey Barnes fouling Fabs on the halfway line. God, my speech is a bit. I blame the Jack Daniels, mate. That's what it is. Nah, it's the Jack Daniels. You don't get this much fun with a paracetamol, you see. I'll take one after the game. I'm going to need one from all the fucking screaming and celebrating of goals. Deep free kick. Oh, just a bit slow off the mark there. Sven Botman. Striker would have buried that, but see, I'm hopeful that Sven Botman could get his first goal in this game. And for those of you that are Twitter aficionados and know of Big Frank Chipper, I mean, who doesn't? The man's. I don't know how to describe him, but he seems to think Dan Burn's going to get his first goal today. So we'll see how that goes. Either of those boys getting there first, I think, would be lovely. But Sven definitely deserves it. How we didn't get to that Holland team, I really don't know. A nice long ball downfield. Knocked out wide by Willock to Almiron. Get there? No. Out for a throw in near the corner flag. A couple of yards in. This is a good opportunity for us to score again, to be honest with you. Trippier with the throw in. Oh, no, straight out for a goal kick there. Shame. Absolute shame. Nick Pope to hit a 60-yard screamer. Oh my God, there's like a 15-year-old Newcastle fan with just a woolly hat and a scarf on. Why, I don't need coats up there, do you? Unfortunately, I wasn't born with the northern genes. I've just the good taste in football team, so I need that puffy ass coat in this weather. Anyway, it's Harvey Barnes, edge of the box, flicks a ball through, defended well by Fabian Schär. Comes back out. Dewsbury Hall. And Newcastle might win it back here. No. Willock just beat into it. Yeah, Nick Pope, 60-yard screamer. Could do, yeah. That would be a class end to the game, to be fair. We're talking a Paul Robinson style 60-yard screamer where he takes the free kick in his own half. Just punts it downfield and bounces in front of the keeper. Oh, dirty bastard. Vardy committing a foul on Sven Botman. They collided earlier and he was protesting, but there was nothing there in it. Botman hits the floor after a very poor tackle from a Leicester player. He's holding his ankle. Absolute disgrace. And there's blood coming from his ankle. There's blood coming through his sock on his ankle. Look, watch. Oh, no, so it was who's that prick? Who is that prick?
Is that the guy who just said was like 10?
No, that could be Castagna. Could be Castagna. There's blood seeping through the ankle, through the sock at the ankle of Sven Botman now. Makes a run for the fun of it. Scorpion kick. Beautiful. Nick Pope, 60-yard run, scorpion kick. Beautiful. No, yeah. Botman's managed to get up and carry on. Man's a beast. Absolute beast. So, yeah. It's been a slightly sloppy start to the second half, to be honest with you. 8 minutes in now, and it's, you know, both teams have had chances to attack, but yeah, it's just been poor in possession, both teams. For us, you can understand it more than Leicester because we've got a 3-goal cushion. But yeah, Leicester haven't troubled. We're easily dealt with. Vardy's not looked like he's changed anything. But then again, he's never come up against a defender like Sven Botman before, so playing it around in their box now, Leicester, and it's dangerous. Dangerous. Almost cut out by Miggy. And here we go. Ball's one back. Oh, come on, ref. Well intercepted from Fabian Schär. There was a long through ball coming into the Newcastle half. And now we've won a free kick just outside the halfway line. Luke Thomas with a foul on Trippier there. Jolinton to drop kick Castagna's payback. Jolinton to drop kick Castagna's payback. Then he'd get suspended.
No, he wouldn't.
Chris Wood to drop kick him. There you go. Kills 2 birds with 1 stone for you, Jay. Gets rid of Wood for a game or 2, and we get our payback. Out wide to Almiron. Good ball in from Trips. Oh, if Wood was only better. And it's a throw into Newcastle on the halfway line. It's a slow start to this half, but things are picking up slightly now. 55th minute, Newcastle starting to assert themselves again. And it's 3-0 to Brighton as well. Wait, sorry, no. I said Longstaff had his tash earlier, didn't I? But he shaved it off. He must have realised how shit it looked. If Wood was to drop kick him and get a splinter, would get splinter. Jesus Christ. Oh dear. Yeah, well, fuck Castagna. Let him get the splinter. Corner. Here we go. All you can hear is Newcastle fans. We've got Bruno in the middle. What a time to be alive, mate. The only thing I miss is listening to BBC Radio Newcastle and hearing the John Anderson. Oh, that was a prime opportunity to score. Ward's hit the floor, open goal. No one to put the fucking final touch to it to get it in the net. Awful. Not awful played. It was just a great corner. It was just there was no one in the exact spot that we needed them. But we've won possession back on the halfway line. And we break again. And Willock almost breaking through on that right-hand side. Oh, left-hand side, sorry. Tell you what, this Feisch, whatever his name is, this lad in defence for Leicester, Faes, I don't know how you pronounce his name. He has been poor, absolutely poor. Him and Amate as 2 centre-backs. I don't know why Brendan Rodgers thinks that's a good idea. Slip on the halfway line from Dewsbury Hall as he went to attack. Score update, yeah. Brighton 3. Solly March, yeah. Yeah, see, we already gave you that update, didn't we? Amazon Prime take their time with the updates. We're still the most entertaining game of the day, I'd say. And the beautiful from Joe Willock. Jolinton down that wing has been brilliant. Him and Botman are the standout performers so far in this game. Absolutely dominant performances from both men. Now Schär's going on one of his runs. Yeah, Schär's got... took an elbow to the face just outside the box, but the ref's not buying it. did go down a little bit soft, but
Oh my god.
you got to appreciate the.
Palace have just had another red card.
And Crystal Palace have got a second red card, and Tompkins has been sent off. That's 2 defenders down now for Palace and Vieira. Jesus.
Second yellow for him. Oh, right. It was
Yeah, two yellows and he's gone. So Palace aren't. I have to admit, I haven't seen the appeal of Palace. I know a lot of people have been giving Vieira a lot of credit, but if I recall, he had the same amount of points as Roy Hodgson did previous season. But ball was just flashed across the Newcastle goal. Vardy stretching but couldn't get a touch on it, and it's cleared away. Back to the halfway line with Feisch and now Amati. And Leicester looking to build back, but are very slow on the ball and look like they're just lacking the confidence of having that one ball forward. They're really, really missing James Maddison. Really missing James Maddison. Without him, they are. Yeah. So, according to Twitter, loads of Leicester fans leaving the ground at the minute. Can you blame them? I mean, their team have shown absolutely zero motivation to get back into this game, and they've been poor. They've got a corner right now after a great clearance from Bruno, and it's cleared easily. Looks like Sven Botman once again clearing it. It's just, we're making everything look so easy. And then Dan Burn hoofs it upfield after another ball's whipped back in that box. We are, we're just comfortable. That's the best way to describe this. Oh, it could be a handball here. That did bounce off of his hand. It's Sven Botman went to clear it. It came off Dan Burns' thigh and literally trickled just past the post. Now, there could be a penalty here for Leicester because the ball did come off of Fabian Schär. Is it Fabian Schär or... Oh, no, it's Sven Botman. As he's gone to bring his arm in, it's flicked up and hit his arm from the looks of things, but no VAR check. So I didn't get to see a replay. So, yeah, I couldn't tell you if it was or not. There you go. So, yeah. Nothing came in the corner anyways. Comfortably come back into our half after it went back into Leicester's half. Pope just rolled it out to Sven Botman. Tell you what, this would be a great Christmas present for all us Magpies fans. Hoof downfield. And Chris Wood with the first touch has given it away. For those of you that didn't know, Jay, or Deadly Nightmare as he is in the comments, that is his favourite player in the world. He absolutely adores Chris Wood. So, you know, at him on Twitter, send him all the pictures of Chris Wood that you can. He loves it. I think it's probably about time we get St. Maxi on the pitch, to be honest. Get some game. We're 3-0 up, 62 minutes in. He needs game time. It just makes sense to put Maxi on the pitch, to be honest. It just makes sense. Get a bit of game time in his legs. Get Elliot Anderson on the pitch because he's going to need game time now. Shelby's out for long, for another 6 to 8 weeks. So I think a couple of changes are. And so if Fabian Schär gets a yellow card today as well, he oh dear. Don't know what you're on about, mate. Miggy, good ball in. No, and it's terrible. And it's gone out for a goal kick. Sean Longstaff, once again, letting the side down. Good little reverse pass as they were running into the box from Almiron. And Longstaff decided to slow down rather than speed up to get the ball. And it went out for a goal kick. Once again, Sean on the attack is awful. In defence, he's better. Not perfect, but better. And you know what? Now that I've been calling for Maxi to come on, you can guarantee it'll be Jacob Bloody Murphy that hits the pitch. For those that don't know, Chris Wood, obviously, as I mentioned, Jay loves him. For me, it's Jacob Murphy. I'm not a huge fan of the kid. I think the end product's awful. The crossing ability isn't really there. But given the fact that he's a fan, I tend to give him benefit of the doubt. He works hard and he does okay for the team. But now that Maxi's back, I definitely think that Murphy should be down the pecking order. That said, ignore that last message from Jay. I have no idea what he's on about when it comes to Steve Bruce. What do you mean I had used socks? I wear socks every day. Is that what you mean? Sean reckons he's playing the best football of his career in an interview he had. Oh, God, if it's the best football of his career, then he's fucked, really, isn't he, as a footballer? Don't get me wrong. His work ethic and his ability to defend is really good. And I have to give him credit where it's due for that. You know, he can intercept quite well. He makes a decent tackle every now and then. But his decision making is awful. He wants too much time on the ball. His passing, he seems to think he's Pirlo. And he's not. His passing is always over hit or under hit, and never to a player that he's intending to give it to. Oh, right. Yeah, no, I did watch that the other day. That Burn and Longstaff interview. I loved it. I mean, to be honest, I blocked out the Sean Longstaff bits. I just enjoyed watching Dan Burn. Yeah.
Leicester had 71.8% of the ball, but not a single shot.
So there's another stat for you. So Leicester have had 71.8% possession, and there's not a single shot on target or at all. Not one shot on goal. So if that isn't a huge indication of how we've played here, and to be fair, yeah, we've not had the possession that we need or like to have in a game like this. We've taken our chances. We've been clinical, which is what teams at the top of the table do. Yeah. So we're clinical, and that's something that I never thought I'd ever say about a Newcastle team, is that we are clinical. I couldn't tell you how many shots we've had yet, but it's all right. The missus are going to search the stat for me, and then I can let you know. Offside from Jamie Vardy there. So we've had 9 shots, and a third of them have gone in, which is very good, to be honest. So 4 shots on target, 3 of it the net. That's not bad, in all honesty, is it really? So you credit where it's due. Wilson isn't playing either. St. Maxi hasn't even come on yet. Isaac hasn't come on because he's still struggling with fitness, I think is what Eddie Howe said. So yeah, it's amazing, really, how well we're doing. And we've won possession back high in, and a lovely little ball from Bruno, and a shit cross in from Joseph Willock. And it's a corner, despite Amati trying to knock it out and make out that it's a throw-in. Yeah. I mean, Willock's been okay in this game. Better than he was in the Carabao Cup, which isn't difficult, to be honest, because he was poor in that cup game. Sean, again, he's been better than he was in the cup, but again, it wasn't very difficult for him to be better than he was. But the standout performers are still Botman and Jolinton. Second half, Jolinton's been a bit quieter. But yeah, I mean, the team's played really well. I don't know, Jay. I reckon
Shoot, go on.
Oh, I reckon if we stick Jolinton up front, put Maxi on the left, take off Wood, because well, it makes sense, really, doesn't it? And that's a foul, surely. It is. It's given as a foul. Samare all over Bruno out in the on the touchline, in the centre of the Leicester half, sort of central on the touchline in the Leicester half. He's taking him down as a free kick for us. Good opportunity to whip a ball in and potentially get another goal. But yeah, I definitely think that Wood off, Jolinton up front, like he played against Norwich last season. He got 2 goals playing the striker against Norwich, didn't he? So yeah, I think that could work. They're the same sort of stature, Jolinton and Willock, so it wouldn't change the team structure or anything like that. But it would mean that we've got it's another corner.
Is it? Oh yeah.
But yeah, so it just makes sense. Like I said, I'll bring Elliot Anderson on now. I think maybe for Willock, if you're going to take off Jolinton, yeah, you take off Jolinton and put him up front, and then him and Willock's link-up play why that left-hand side is so good. But if you're going to put Maxi there, take off Willock, stick Anderson on, give him some minutes. And corners whipped in, headed away. Oh, Willock with a poor shot. He caught it nicely. It was just no power in it, and it just really slowly just went into the hands of Danny Ward. Throw in midway into our half for Leicester. And it looks like there's going to be a sub. Leicester bringing on 2 players. So you've got Ian Atcho and Ndidi coming on. So Harvey Barnes off, Bubakari, Samare off. Both of them have had poor games, to be honest. Neither have imposed themselves or... So the 2 Nigerian lads coming on. See if that has an effect on the game. They've got 20 minutes plus added. So we'll see what happens. Second half, we've not imposed ourselves on it, but we've you know, we've got a 3-goal cushion. We've not needed to impose ourselves. So yeah, there it is. Just very, very poor Leicester team, I have to admit. I did see it before the game and think it's just not. I definitely think Newcastle will get the 4th, and I definitely think, yeah, I think Miggy. I reckon Miggy could get another one. He's looked sharp. Obviously, he's already got that 1 goal, skinning a couple of defenders. So yeah, I think because they're looking like they're going to try and push higher up the field with another striker in Ian Atcho coming on the pitch, which is then going to open up space on the break, which is what we want, really. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get the 4th goal with Almiron on the score sheet. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see some fresh legs coming on, because it's been a long break. You know, people are going to get a bit of fatigue and a bit of cramp soon. Jolinton, bless him, he's taken a battering in that first half. Whether he stays on and goes up front like I think he would, I'm not too sure. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, we're getting to that stage now. You know what it's going to be? It's going to be in Jacob Murphy for Jolinton, and that's probably all he'll end up doing. Jacob Murphy and Manquillo or some shit like that. It's never the subs that you want, but it's never the glamorous subs. It's just the ones that will see the result out. But St. Maxi definitely needs Iheanacho miles wide. What happened to him? He was a class player when he was at Man City. When he was at Man City, he was such a player, and he's fallen off. I don't know. I have to admit, I've never really rated Brendan Rodgers. I know he's had spells at Liverpool and things, but I remember him at Reading, and at Reading, he almost took them into, well, he did take them into a really poor position in the Championship. Got fired. The second he left, they improved. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be long for his job. Oh, Danny Ward's come out of his box, getting chased down. He's had to hoof it downfield, and it ends up with our defenders. It's out wide to Trippier, who's flicked it across the pitch to Dan Burn. Yeah, I know Murphy's been in form, but his end product has still been poor. You know, he can't whip across in to save his life. What he can do is he can take defenders on, but then once he's taken them on, he makes the wrong pass or a poor cross. When if you've got somebody, if Jacob Murphy had the crossing ability of, I don't know, if he had Shelby's sort of flair for a pass, he'd be a hell of a player. Hell of a player. Trouble is, he just doesn't have that in him, and it's frustrating because he is. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. In that Carabao Cup game, he was trying to put crosses in. They were constantly hitting the heads of defenders. Could be that maybe it was just our attackers. I mean, Chris Wood was the attacker on that game, wasn't he? But Southampton have got one back against Brighton, by the way. Just keep you updated there. It was a penalty. And what's the score there now?
2-0.
To Fulham. The Fulham 2-0 up in their game. But to be fair, it's to be expected. Palace are down to 9. So, yeah, Jolinton's getting some treatment. He's looking a bit worse for wear. St. Maximin's going to have to come on now, isn't he? Am I being too harsh on Jacob Murphy? Maybe that's the way to go now. Take off Miggy, take off Jolinton, as Jolinton's not looking at his best. He went down for a minute, so why risk him? Leave Chris Wood on the pitch because Wilson should be back for the next game from his spate of illness. The one player that we can't, I guess you might be more harsh on Wood. Wood's been non-existent in this game apart from the penalty, so there's nothing to be harsh about, mate. He's done nothing. At least with Murphy, he does things. That's the best compliment I can give him. He does a lot on the pitch, Jacob Murphy. The trouble is the assists and goals record for him doesn't line up. And I know Wood's meant to be a striker, meant to be getting them goals, and he doesn't. But he's forgettable as a player, Chris Wood, sometimes because he just doesn't do things. Defensively, fair play to the kid. He can, drop back and help the defense, but that's not what strikers meant to do. Yeah, but that said, Howe needs to start making some changes. We're looking a little bit tired in areas, but still comfortably leading. So, and we win a foul just inside our half from Bruno. So, yeah, I mean, it's all good so far. Iosi Perez gets to taste another defeat at the hands of Newcastle and puts a big old smile on my face, that does. Nice long ball out to Miggy. Cuts inside, goes on a bit of a run, and it's cut out by a Leicester player. Surely that's a pass back to Danny Ward. Picks it up after a touch off a Leicester player, but is that rule in effect anymore? I don't even know if that is anymore because refs never seem to give anything from pass backs. Go on, Bruno. Great tackle from Bruno as Leicester were on the break. And up he gets, giving it a big old celebration. Arms out, roaring at the Newcastle fans. Good lad. How Fred started ahead of him in the pecking order for Brazil, I have no idea. Really, really baffles me. Botman at the back. Isaac in attack. Newcastle going to win the Premier League. Well, lads, it looks like it's a comfortable win. Second half's been less impressive. Yeah, I agree with you there, Jay. He's already become one of the great players that we've had. He's been a massive reason we've had this upturn in form, coming to us when we were where we were. Him, Trippier, those two will go down in legend at Newcastle. As long as we can keep Bruno 2, 3, 4 more seasons, hopefully the latter, we could do great things. And even when he does go, it'd have to be for 150 mil plus, because what a player he is. It's going to be difficult to find a replacement for him. Oh. Offside from Iheanacho, but he almost flicked a ball in on the slide there. Nick Pope had it covered. Yeah, that was offside. 500 million release clause. Yes, mate. Yes. Up the Almiron. Almiron's been class. Absolute class. Another goal today. 9 for the season. I believe it is now. What a player. Honestly, the turnaround in form under Eddie Howe has just been terrific. So Mitrovic has got another goal for Fulham as well, by the way. Yeah, he's gone a bit quiet in the second half as Almiron, but he still looks as sharp as he did in the first half. I just don't think it's the second half's not really been our game plan to keep possession of the ball like we did in the first half as much anyway. But he's yeah, he does. He really does, mate. I've never seen Grealish in a City shirt get 9 goals. Or even score some of the goals that Almiron scored. I mean, Jesus, some of the worldies. I mean, the goal tonight as well, taking on 3-4 defenders before rolling it into the bottom left corner. You can't fault his commitment to the cause, can you, Almiron? He's just been amazing. The smiling assassin, isn't he? Oh, ball whipped in. Comes to Iheanacho. And terrible shot from Dewsbury Hall. Just goes to volley it, but hits it down and into the floor, and it bounces up into Nick Pope's hands. Any decent player would have buried that in the back of the net. Up the alley, mate, yeah. I have to admit, I am very surprised we've hit the 82nd minute with... just I was about to say it. Here comes Jacob Murphy and St. Maximin. And Miggy is going to come off, and I imagine he's going to get a nice round of applause from the Toon fans here. He's had a very good game. Yeah, there you go for Miggy. 8 goals, 9 games. What a... Miggy's having an argument with the ref about where he's got to come off the field. Well done, Miggy. Wasting a couple of seconds there. Bless him. Oh, Champions League football for Newcastle would be incredible. Yeah, that'd be a great... Who's that? Willock. Oh, Willock's gone off for St. Maximin. So it looks like Jolinton's going to hit into the centre of midfield, and Murphy and Maxi are going to go out wide. Yeah, but yeah, Champions League football. Could you imagine it? Knowing our first season back in Champions League, we'd end up in the group of death with Real Madrid and PSG and Man City or something along those lines, you know. But yeah, it'd be incredible to have that football back at St James's again. Oh, definitely, buddy. Definitely. I'm just at this moment in time, I'm just taking it one game at a time and enjoying it as it is. Because you know what it's like, buddy. Fucking so many years of Mike Ashley in charge. Obviously, expectations have been tempered by mediocrity every year that he was owner. So it's still difficult to buy into the fact that we're so good these days. It's sinking in slowly, but I think one more player like Maddison, you bring him in, potentially. Oh no, Vardy missed it. That's good. Yeah, it'll be grand. All these newspapers as well saying that, oh, they're not going to spend big in January. Well, we got the deals from Saudi A and Aramco. Was it Aramco? No, Saudi Telecoms, wasn't it? I think when we were out there. So that will count towards FFP. So we will have money to spend. It's the Luke Edwards brigade, isn't it? Just trying to shit on our parade, basically. But yeah, no, I reckon we're going to do well this season. Even if we don't get Champions League, we'll get Europa League and go quite far in that, and then potentially next season finish top 4. I reckon. Halal ball. Yeah, you're right as well, Jay. Yeah, Wood staying on for the 90, which is surprising. I mean, I would have brought Elliot Anderson on just to give him a bit of game time because kid deserves it. I mean, we denied a few loan moves for him in the summer, didn't we? And he's not had as much game time as I would have hoped. But I'm hoping we're doing the whole Pep Guardiola routine with him, like he did with Phil Foden, which is to get him in and around the first team, get him incorporated with the players, let him learn from them, give him, 10, 15 minutes here and there, play some cup games. Look how that turned out for Foden. So I'm hopeful that could happen with Elliot Anderson. I'm sort of fingers crossed that he might change allegiance to England. I know he plays for Scotland under 21s at the minute, but yeah, we'll see how things go. But yeah, I mean, it's 86th minute now. We're still comfortable. Yeah, no. Nice little volley from Ndidi outside the box, but it's straight into the arms of Pope. We're fucking massive, lads. The perfect Christmas present for everyone. Nice win. And the stadium's pretty much empty as well now. I do feel for these Leicester fans, Perez trying to take a shot from miles out and hitting a defender. Oh, it's through to Vardy, and Pope saved it. It looked like it was going to head in. And Vardy fluffed it. Yeah, he's offside.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, Vardy's miles offside after he took it. He's complaining and swearing at the ref, but he messed it up. Great save from Nick Pope, 1-on-1. Ball bounced up, hits the post. So yeah, and that's the difference between him and Dubravka. Oh, you were wrong. You were wrong, Jay. Matt Ritchie's coming on for Chris Wood off, Matt Ritchie on. So it looks like Maxi's going to go up front with Ritchie on the right, on the left or the right. Murphy switching. I think Murphy will switch wings. Ritchie will come on the right. Maxi up front. Oh yeah, I do feel for some Leicester fans. My missus' cousin, she's a Leicester fan. She's lovely, bless her. So I do feel for some of them. But then I did see some on Twitter before the game giving it the old big and saying that they were going to smash us. So, I don't feel for that. And then they're talking about how Maddison would never go to Newcastle because, they're ex-Premier League winners and we're just us. But second in the league now, boys. I think we can comfortably say that until, when is it, Thursday City play. So, yeah. No, I know. Yeah, Matt Ritchie's not been seen in decades. I was going to send a search party out to find him at some stage, but I wonder if this is maybe his farewell. Maybe Eddie's sort of got it in his head that we need space in that team. He's a sellable asset at this stage because he's 32, doesn't play very often. And there you go. Bruno Guimaraes is man of the match. Bruno Guimaraes, man of the match. But yeah, no, it's been decent. So yeah, Matt Ritchie's 33. I can imagine this is probably his last game for us. Oh, what play from Bruno! Flicked it around a player, chested the flick from himself down, and then just volleyed a ball across the penalty area, but no one there on the end of it. And Lineker's Mrs. just said, Gary Lineker's tweeted out, what a delightful way to spend Boxing Day, watching your team get smashed by Newcastle while watching it with Alan Shearer. So there you go. I'm sure Shearer's laughing his ass off watching it with Gary. Here we go. Yeah, Leicester are on the attack again, but I can't imagine this is going to go anywhere. No, it's back into they've essentially passed it back to their own half. And yeah, what I said was right. So Murphy looks like he's gone out to the right. Richie's on the left. Maxi's gone up front. And it looks like we're going to be making another substitution just to waste a little bit of time. Bruno's won it on the centre half. And it's played through. Murphy's offside, but he's taking it around the keeper anyway. And he's missed it. I'm sorry, Jay. What were you saying, mate, about that? Like, I know he's been in a rich vein of form, but offside or not, he should have buried that. That was pitiful. Open goal. The angle was a bit tight, don't get me wrong. And that Feisch was on the line, but it was poor, very poor from Murphy. Should have buried that. It's a little bit like that Chris Wood one the other day. Just the finish was probably worse, to be honest. Glad Lineker doesn't get any bragging rights. Old big ears. Oh, here we go. Elliot Anderson's getting his game time now. Sean Longstaff coming off. But he's going to get a minute, which is harsh on the young lad. Very harsh. Bless him. He deserves a bit more game time, to be honest. I mean, with Shelvey out injured, we're going to need him to step up as a substitute in that midfield. So giving him some game time and experience wouldn't be something that would go amiss, to be honest. That said, balls with Pope, minute left. And that should be all she wrote, really. There you go, the ringing of EIEIO around the King Power Stadium. Leicester fans won't hear it because there's none there now. Sam Maximin just outside the box. Cuts in from the right wing, takes it. Jolinton out wide to Matt Ritchie. Knocks it back to Jolinton. Nah, they're just toying with Leicester now. It's gone back to Botman. Oh, Jolinton. St. Maxi. Bruno takes it out wide to Murphy. Murphy overplays it as per usual and somehow still has the ball and he knocks it straight to the bloody goalkeeper. Great opportunity to get a fourth goal there, but Murphy trying to overplay the ball. And that's it. That's all she wrote. 3-0 win. And that's it, guys. Full time. Yeah, 8 clean sheets, most in the league. Very good game. Our possession stats may not look as good as we want them to, but clinical finishing from the lads once again. Man of the match for Bruno. Botman can feel hard done by. We're second in the league. Second in the bloody league. We're now clear of 4th place. I think it was by 3 or 4 points. 7 points clear of Man United in 5th. And we're 1 point ahead of City, who are 3rd. Obviously, they've got 2 games in hand. We're 4 points behind Arsenal. No, 7. How many points behind Arsenal are we? Sorry, lads, I got that wrong, I think. Yeah, no, 4 points behind Arsenal. So they've got 2 games in hand.
You're 1 point ahead of City.
There you go. Done well, lads. 7 points ahead of Spurs. Okay, yeah, cool.
No, sorry, that's a lie. 3, sorry.
Yeah, 3 points. I was going to say, we're 3 points ahead of Spurs, 7 ahead of Man United. Yeah. Team photo incoming, I imagine, boys. So keep an eye out on Twitter for that. Thank you to those of you that have tuned in and watched with me. Cheers to Jay, even though you couldn't come on. I appreciate you being in the comments, mate. And sorry I missed you in the first half. I completely forgot there was a comment section. I was too engrossed in the game. But yeah, no, thank you to everyone that's been on, tuned in and watched my first watch along. Hope it hasn't been too boring. Hope I haven't left too much dead air as well, because that always gets annoying. I get that when I watch people do these. And yeah, all the players over in the corner applauding the Newcastle fans. Fans are going mental, as we always are. But yeah, I appreciate it. If you could throw a like on the video, subscribe on the channel, I'd really appreciate that. You can always follow me on Twitter, Magpie Vincey. And like I said earlier on, I'm sure me and Jay will get together at some stage to do a 10-15 minute review of the game. And yeah, I will post on Twitter when that will be coming out. So keep an eye out on that. And to all of you, I hope you have you had a lovely Christmas yesterday, and I hope the hangover's not too bad today. And I will see you again soon. But you take it easy, everyone. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.